even here on YouTube, you will find South Africans who speak their native language, who speak isiZulu to the rest of the world. And I mean, it's a platform where some people will be like, oh yes, it's selfish, don't think about others and all of that. But no, your native language is your root. So that's one thing that I really love about South Africans, or really love about South Africa's system, is like people are made to know their native language first from your home.
You are the someone I've been trying to meet.
Hello there, how are you doing? I hope you're super well, super amazing. Welcome to the channel. My name is Geraldine Ngibu. I am a Cameroonian residing in Johannesburg of South Africa. If you've subscribed to the channel, Kialeboha, Nyabonga, Bayatanki, merci beaucoup. Thank you so much for subscribing. If you haven't just subscribed, please subscribe to the channel, as it does give me some motivation, to be able to put out content, right? On this channel, we talk about God, we talk about life in South Africa from a foreigner's perspective. If you're interested in such a content, please subscribe to the channel, turn on your post notifications so that whenever I upload a video, you would be notified. Please leave your word in the comment section about today's topic, and I would definitely be sure to read it. And you never know, maybe your comment could be a topic of discussion for another day. Thank you so much. Without no further ado, let's get into today's content. Today on the channel, we're going to be talking about some of the things that I've come to learn in South Africa, which are good practices, which are good things, which I personally think that can be copied by other countries. I am from Cameroon, where I've looked at these things and I've come to realize that some of them are not in Cameroon. I'm not so broad, I'm not so knowledgeable about my country so much. Maybe it's there, but from where I come from or growing up, I haven't experienced these things. I haven't heard about these things. Hence, I'm coming out to say, hey, these are ideas which, if you're foreign, you can also turn into a business idea in your country if they do not have it. And if you're South African, you can be proud of your country to say, oh wow, my country has good things which other countries can copy. The very first thing on the list will definitely be bursaries, and also something called NSFAS. I'm going to discuss that in detail. Now, National Student Aid Fund, which helps students of low family income to be able to put them through universities. Now, the main place where this money for NSFAS comes from is through taxpayers, right? When taxpayers pay the money, the National Student Aid Fund takes some of that money and puts some students who are from low family income, people whose families cannot afford to put them through universities. That scheme is able to provide for the students, and the students can go to school and study university and go through university. And when they graduate and are able to get jobs, then they can pay back whatever they owe to NSFAS, right? And when they pay back, then the scheme goes on to other students. How beautiful is that? When I heard of it, I was like, wow, that is so beautiful. And this scheme doesn't just pay for your school, it pays for your feeding, pays for your accommodation, pays for your books. They literally just step in as a father, but just financially to be able to put you through school. And that's a very beautiful thing. And they go as far as even giving students iPad. I mean the Apple tablet, you know what I mean? So it's very beautiful. And also on that, there's something they call bursaries in South Africa. So big companies, or like your Anglo-American, all these big manufacturing companies, they do pay tax, or they're required to pay tax, right? And from what I learned is that some of these companies can offer bursaries to students as a form of paying tax, right? Like they can look for good performing students from high school and sponsor those students through universities. And then the students as well, but there's a certain mark or grade level that you need to have for them to be able to sponsor you. But for them, it's not really a thing where you're required to pay them back, because them sponsoring you is their way of paying tax as well. You get what I'm saying? I don't know if you really get it, but if you get it, let me know. So when with the bursaries, you are those good performing students from high school, a bursary like Anglo-American or a big company like Anglo-American can put you through university, pay for your accommodation, pay for your feeding, pay for your books, even give you monthly allowance to just facilitate your university studies. And when you're done from university, some of them also get to employ you, and not that you're going to pay them back, but they employ you, and then you also have a job. How beautiful is that? And it was a beautiful wow or surprise to me, because yes, I don't want to brag about it, but I was a top performing student or good student, but I did not have all those given to me, or all those facilities, you know. So my family had to look for the money to send me through school. But I mean, in South Africa, all you need to do is to be a good performing student, and you would get bursaries like left, right, front, center. But the only thing they require from me is for you to keep that good grade, you know, because even first year you drop, they have a right to step away from sponsoring you. So I think with the whole bursary system, it's a very good thing, which I think other countries can be able to copy if you don't have it. I mean, it just makes a student also feel appreciated. It's a thing where, you know, when you're putting in your hard work, you're studying and doing your best, and a company just comes to say, for you doing well, we're going to sponsor you through school and then give you a job. How beautiful and nice that is, you know. So definitely the bursary thing, it's a thing where I think countries should be able to copy, like companies should be able to sponsor good performing students. Then the second thing on my list will definitely have to be policies, right? This policies goes right across to life policies, insurance, and you know, many more. I'll just talk about them briefly. In South Africa, because their system is centralized, like everybody's information is in the database, you cannot take a loan and not be caught from a government or from a big institution, right? What am I saying? For example, in South Africa, people can take cars and pay those vehicles monthly, right? All you need to do is come up with your ID, bring your ID, and also your proof of payslip or proof of income that you're getting money every month, or just the amount. Then they would give you a car, and all they've got to do is just to deduct the amount that they need from your salary. I mean, how cool and nice that is, you know. Unlike, I know in Cameroon, for you to be able to afford a car, you need to have money, or you need to take a loan for you to be able to afford a car. You know, if you want a car of 2 million, then you need to go and borrow. You need to be able to have 2 million in cash. But I mean, in South Africa, it makes it so nice because I don't really need to have 500,000 for me to be able to afford a car. All I just need is a steady source of income, and then I can have a car. And you know, a car these days is a necessity. It goes right down to even life policies. When I mean life policies, I mean in terms of debt, right? In South Africa, there's something called insurance, where you're preparing for your debt before it even happens. How beautiful. Some people be like, oh, how can I plan for my debt before it happens? But it's like, we all know we're gonna die someday, right? And how cool and beautiful will it be that before you die, you already have money for your funeral and everything, and even some money left over for your family to be able to continue life while you're gone. In South Africa, people take out life policies or insurance policies where they pay it monthly, and some of those policies cover their family, their kids, in a way that should a mother die, or should a parent or whoever in that family that had that policy passes on, the insurance policy gives that people that money that person has been saving, and they're able to buy like the casket, do the funeral, and everything, and the family could even be left with some money to be able to continue life. How cool and beautiful that is. Unlike, I know for us in Cameroon, if you die, we need to look around who has money and all of these things. It would really be beautiful if Cameroonians can start up an insurance policy where people save money every month. You know, just put away money every month for the dark days. You know, when the days are dark, the friends are few. So I think it's a really good thing. It's a really good practice where companies, I think people should start companies in other countries or in Cameroon where they have this insurance policies and this life policies where should you pass away, money has been saved, or should you need a car, you just need to pay the car monthly. But the only bad thing about taking a car monthly is that should you lose your job, then that vehicle company has got a right to repossess the car. Or even a house. There are people who buy houses but they don't fully own it in South Africa, but they pay in that house monthly, but it could be for a period of 20 years, for a period of 5 years. I know for vehicles they go for 5 years. You pay a car like monthly for 5 years before you can own it. And for some like houses, people pay it monthly over 20 years. Although it's a very lengthy time for you to be able to pay one item, but I think it's really cool that you already have that item. I mean, life is short. You may as well live your best life while trying to push through it. You get what I mean? So that will definitely be the second thing, which is like policies and insurance and all of those things. I think it's a very good thing that other countries should be able to. Number 3 definitely will have to be the old age homes. I mean, we're now at a time where a lot of people are getting jobs. I mean, we've moved from the old age where the woman's job is to stay at home. Women now are getting jobs. You know, women are working. Everybody is working 24/7 trying to get money. And it's really a struggle when you have elderly people, and elderly people need attention. Elderly people need care. And how beautiful it is for you to just have your parent and put them in an old age home. Some people would think, okay, no, you're abandoning your parents, But it's a thing where while you're pushing through life to get money, there will be somebody in that old age home who is taking care of your parents' needs or your elderly people's needs, whatever they need in terms of their health, in terms of their feeding and all of that. And all you have to do is just focus on your hustle and get money and pay these people to be able to take care of the elderly people. I know for some people will be like, oh, but maybe the elderly people will not get the care, the love, the attention. But I mean, imagine having to juggle a job and taking care of an elderly person. You know, elderly people, they've got a lot of health conditions, you know. And I know in most of these old age homes, they also have like health practitioners. And, you know, just having an elderly person put in a home where they are properly taken care of. Yes, you know, you can't have best of both worlds. I think the only disadvantage is that you will not have that so much, you know, affection towards your elderly person. But I think in terms of care and taking care of them, they would be properly taken care of. I know of a couple of people who have their parents in old age homes, and to me, I think it's nice. So I think it's a thing where in Cameroon, if people are looking for business ideas, it could be something you could venture into, creating old age homes, just so that, you know, people take their elderly relatives there and you take care of them and they pay you. And I think it's a good business. So that's definitely the third thing on my list, the old age homes. It's definitely something which I see in South Africa, which is a very good practice, which is a very beautiful thing. Number 4, and the very last thing, will definitely have to be language. In South Africa, it's so beautiful that no matter where you're based, who you are obliged. It's a must for you to know your native language. In Cameroon, where I come from, I was born in the city. I grew up in the city. I used to go to the village like once in a while. So speaking of our native language was not so much a practice. Like, we'd speak more English, more French, you know, and things like that. But the native language, we hardly spoke it. It was only until a time where my mom at the time, Lady I, she got so strict because, okay, what basically happened was there was a time where she needed to talk to my younger sister, right? And she was in a public space and my younger sister was at home. So she wanted my younger sister to do something for her. And you know, when you're in a public space, you cannot talk in English, right? So she tried talking to my younger sister in the native language. And heaven knows my younger sister understood nothing. She was like, "Mommy, what are you saying? I cannot hear you. Mommy, I don't understand you." And she got so frustrated. My mom got super angry and frustrated. And when she came back that day, she was like, "This thing of you guys speaking English, I've had it. It's enough. You guys need to learn your native language." And like that, we started learning. And, you know, because it's a thing where should something happen, should you be in a crisis, you should be able to speak to your kids and speak to your family members in your native language, in your vernac. Yes, you're trying to code and say something secretive. There are things that you cannot say in English because everybody will understand you in public, right? So I think in Cameroon, people need to get to the point where whether you were born and raised in the city, you need to be able to know your native language. Your native language should be your number one language of preference, your number one language of priority. Like, you should be able to express yourself. Like right now, I'm saying I can speak my native language, but heaven knows I cannot write anything in that language. I cannot write anything. I still struggle with some words, but I try. I can say things like wesake, mesayuka, yomiyo, yamiyo manda, you know. And one thing I've come to realize in Southern Africa as a whole, it's that even on national TV, they speak their native language. Even here on YouTube, you will find South Africans who speak their native language, who speak isiZulu to the rest of the world. And I mean, it's a platform where some people will be like, "Oh yes, it's selfish, don't think about others," and all of that. But no, your native language is your root. So that's one thing that I really love about South Africans, or really love about South Africa's system, is like people are made to know their native language first from your home. And the system is so much so that even at school, they teach people their native languages. I know in Cameroon, for us to switch that way, it's going to be really hard because we've got over 250 native languages, so it's really going to be hard for your child to learn that at school. But definitely as a parent, you know, try to get your kids that when they're at home, they should be able to learn the native language. They should be able to speak the native language, because somewhere, somehow, we need it, and we need to make the world know that our languages are important. Like right now, I know if I speak in my native language, some people would not understand, but you know, they say change is a very gradual process, you know. Just let people learn it. I think in Cameroon as well, there should be programs where people are able to learn their native languages. I'm talking maybe to Seattle TV. I don't know who's going to watch this. And, you know, there should be a program on TV where people are called for to be able to teach people their native language. I think that's a very good thing that we need to practice as Cameroonians. This video basically was things that I've seen in South Africa, which I think are good practice, and I've compared them to my country. I do not really know if it applies to your country as well. Please let me know in the comment section if these things apply to your country, and let me know, do you vibe with what I'm saying, or you think, nah, whatever she said, we don't want it here. But definitely, like I said, in summary, number 1 is bursary, number 2 would definitely be policies and insurance, number 3 would definitely be old age homes, and number 4 definitely languages. If you've watched this video right till this point, let me know in the comment section what you think about today's content. Thank you so much for subscribing. Turn on your post notification, because darling, we are heading to 1,000 subscribers. I remain your loyal foreign content creator, Geraldine Ngibu Djetkeu, and I'm out.
You are that someone I've been trying to meet.